Cosmetology Written Study Guide Number 2, Haircutting. Please be sure to read your textbook for more information on each subject. Information is not limited to the one shown in this video. Be sure to look for your state's reference list for your written examination. Good haircuts begin with a good understanding of the shape of the head. The hair responds differently on various areas of the head depending on the length and cutting technique being used. Reference points on the head mark where the surface of the head changes, such as the ears, jawline, occipital bone, or apex. Parietal ridge is the widest area of the head, starting at the temples and ending at the bottom of the crown. Occipital bone is the bone that protrudes at the base of the skull. Apex is the highest point on the top of the head. Four corners. Locate them by placing two combs flat against the side and back, and then locating the back corner at the point where the two combs meet. Areas of the head. Top. By locating the parietal ridge, you can find the hair that grows on top of the head. This hair lies on the head shape. Front. Everything that falls in front of the ear is considered the front. Sides includes all the hair from the back of the ear forward below the parietal ridge. Crown. Area between the apex and the back of the parietal ridge. Nape. Area at the back part of the neck and consists of the hair below the occipital bone. Back. By making a parting or drawing a line from the apex to the back of the ear, you can locate the back of the head. Consists of all the hair that falls naturally behind the ear. Bang area, also known as the fringe area. The bang area is a triangular section that begins at the apex and ends at the front corners. Lines, sections, and angles. All haircuts are made up of lines, sections, and angles. A line is a thin continuous mark used as a guide. A section is the working area that the hair is separated into prior to cutting. The two basic lines used in haircutting are straight and curved. The head itself is made up of curved and straight lines. An angle is created when the space between the two lines or surfaces intersect at a given point. The angle in which you cut the line is what gives the hair direction and shape. There are three types of straight lines in haircutting. Horizontal lines. These are parallel from the floor and relative to the horizon. Horizontal lines build weight. Used to create one length and low elevation haircuts and to add weight. Vertical lines, usually described in terms of up and down, are perpendicular to the horizon. Vertical lines remove weight to create graduated or layer haircuts and are used with higher elevations. Diagonal lines. These are between horizontal and vertical lines. They have a slanting or sloping direction. There are two types of diagonal lines. Diagonal forward, which creates movement towards the face, and diagonal back creates movement away from the face. Sectioning. Sections are the working area that hair is separated into prior to cutting. For control during haircutting, the hair is parted into working areas called sections. Each section may be divided into smaller areas called subsections. A part or parting is the line dividing the hair at the scalp, separating one section from the hair from another, creating subsections. Horseshoe section is taken from recession separates the head at the parietal ridge to below the crown, allowing you to have control when layering or graduating the hair. Pivoting section is referred to as a pie section. rotates from central point, and used in layering and graduation. Profile section divides the head from center forehead to center nape, divides the head in two sections, allowing subsectioning to take place. Radial section is taken from ear to ear and divides the head from front to back, starting behind the apex in the crown. Angle. An angle is created when the space between two lines or surfaces intersect at a given point. The angle in which you cut the line is what gives the hair direction and shape. You guys already heard me mention this earlier. Angles are important in creating strong foundation and consistency in hair cutting. Elevation, also known as projection or lifting, is the degree at which a subsection of hair is held or elevated from the head when cutting. Elevation occurs when any hair is lifted beyond 0 degree. Graduation. Elevation creates graduation in layers, and it is usually described in degrees. The more you lift the hair, the more graduation and layering you create. Shrinkage is when the hair contracts or lifts through the action of moisture loss or the hair drying. Cutting line or finger angle. The cutting line is the angle at which the fingers are held when cutting the line that creates the end shape. It is also known as cutting position or cutting angle. Guidelines. A guideline, also known as a guide, is a subsection of hair that determines the length the hair will be cut. Guidelines are located either at the perimeter, the outer line, or the interior, inner, or internal line of the cut. The guideline is usually the first section cut when creating shape. Stationary guide. A stationary guide does not move. All other sections are combed to this guide and cut at the same angle or length. Traveling guide, also known as a movable guide, moves as the haircut progresses. When using this type of guide, you take a small slice of the previously cut section and move it to the next section where it becomes a new guide. Over direction happens when you comb the hair away from its natural falling position, rather than straight out from the head. Hair cutting consultation is part of the service, and being able to communicate with clients is very important. Here are a few factors to take into consideration. Face shape. A quick way to analyze a face shape is to determine if it is wide or long. Pull the hair away from the face and neck. Look for the widest and narrowest areas, including the balance of all facial features and profile. Hair analysis. There are 4 characteristics that determine the behavior of the hair: growth patterns, texture, density, and elasticity. The hairline is the hair that grows at the outermost perimeter along the face, around the ears, and on the neck. The growth pattern is the direction in which the hair grows from the scalp, also referred to as the natural falling position. Hair cutting tools. The following tools and equipment listed, you will need to properly know how to use them and understand for hair cutting. Number 1, hair cutting shears, also known as scissors, are mainly used to cut blunt or straight lines in hair. They may also be used to slide cut, point cut, or to implement other texturizing techniques. Number 2, texturizing shears. Texturizing shears are mainly used to remove bulk from the hair. They are sometimes referred to as thinning shears, tapering shears, or notching shears. Number 3, razors. Straight razors or feathered blades are mainly used when a softer effect on the ends of the hair is desired. Razors can be used to create an entire haircut, to thin the hair out, or to texturize in certain areas. And they come in different shapes and sizes and with or without guards. Number 4, clippers. These are mainly used when cutting short haircuts, short tapers, fades, and flat tops. Clippers may be used without a guard to shave hair right to the scalp, with cutting guards of various length, and for clipper over comb techniques. Number 5, trimmers. A smaller version of clippers, and are also known as edgers. They're mainly used to remove excess of unwanted hair at the neckline and around the ears to create a more crisp outline. Trimmers are generally used on men's haircuts and very short haircuts for women. Number 6, sectioning clips. These come in a variety of shapes, styles, and sizes and can be made of plastic or metal. In general, 2 types are used: butterfly clips and duckbill clips. Both come in large or small sizes. Number 7, wide tooth comb. This is mainly used to detangle hair, and it is rarely used when cutting. Number 8, a tail comb. This is mainly used to section and subsection the hair. Number 9, barber comb. This comb is mainly used for close tapers on the nape and sides when using the scissor over comb technique. The narrow end of the comb allows the shears to get very close to the head. And number 10, styling or cutting combs, also referred to as an all-purpose comb. This tool is used for most hair cutting procedures. It can be 6 to 8 inches long and has fine teeth at one end and wider teeth at the other. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found the information helpful, don't forget to share, like, and if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Thank you so much for all the love and support that you are showing me. Don't forget that it is very important that you are going back and rereading all of this information in your book. The chapters in the textbook are extremely long, and it is hard to put all the information in one short video. So don't forget to keep going and keep growing, and I'll see you guys on my next one. Bye guys.